Welcome to this week's edition of Right on the Money with Tom Mosley of Mosley Wealth Management. I'm Rebecca Power. So happy to have you with us again. This week, we are going to continue to talk about your retirement dreams. And I said this last time, but happy 28-year anniversary of committing yourself to retirement specifically.
Hey, I go to work every day working on year 29, so we're good. That's as old as I'm ever going to get is 29. So.
And your son, one of your beautiful 5 children, works with you.
Right.
He was finance in college, wonderful baseball player. He's following your footsteps. So even when you are long gone, there will still be this family atmosphere. 4 different offices in Southern California, 6 true fiduciaries in each. We're always extremely positive on this show, but today we're going to give this question. How do you run out of money in retirement? Let's talk about the mistakes that so many of us have made not being educated about what to do with our money growing up.
You know, when I thought about this show, Rebecca, I was thinking about you who are listening out there, and I was thinking about, you know, you always hear the positive stuff, you hear everything that's good out there, and sometimes you just need to hear that I'm in a boat with a lot of other people, but you don't need to stay there. So that's the whole theme of the show is I want to show some mistakes that people make so that if you are listening and watching and you are making these mistakes, maybe you will have enough, because the change has got to come from you and the decision has got to come from you to do something about it. I mean, Travis, my son that you talked about, I've got 6 other advisors. Sometimes people ask me, and it's really offensive if you think about how much longer are you going to do this, all right? But I enjoy doing what I do. And I grew up on a farm, and I'm used to working. And sometimes my most miserable days are the days when I am off and I don't have anything to do, because I look around and there's only so much yard work you can do, and I hire most of that done, and a few honeydews that I have to do from time to time. But I plan on doing it a long time. Plus, we've built a whole group of advisors, 6 of us. We're in our 20s, late 20s. By the way, those guys have CFPs and they're really trained from an industry perspective. We have advisors in 30s, we have advisors in our 40s, we have advisors in our 50s, and I'll quit going up because you'll know how old I am at that point. But we've got spread out an entire team, and when somebody comes to work with us, they're usually working with at least 2 advisors, sometimes 3 advisors, because some of my advisors have specialties. Every one of my advisors, because Social Security is so big, it's 43 to 50% of a retiree's income.
Wow.
Every one of my advisors are certified by the National Social Security Advisors Administration. They do a certification. We've watched like 19 classes, and you take a proctored exam, and you go through the whole 9 yards. All of my advisors, and it's funny, some of my advisors, when I told them, you're going to do this, okay, because it's like your kids sometimes, you just say, you're going to do this. And they were like, I know what I need to know about Social Security. You know, they were telling me, I've got it down. And then they came back to me after they finished the course and they took the test, and he says, wow, I didn't know anything about Social Security compared to that course and what we know. You know, a lot of advisors are out there giving you input on Social Security, and they're just winging it. They don't really know, and it's not the, you know, you can take it at 62, your full retirement age is here, you've got to take it by the time you're 70. It's not that. It's really bearing down on what are the little bitty things that might trap you and might catch you. And a retired couple, one of the things I learned from the class, a retired couple has 257 different options as to how they can take Social Security, as to the timing, as to how they take it first or second, and you start multiplying all those out. It's not as easy as it seems. The government's always willing to get you signed up to take it, but you need to take it, not in a way you can maximize it. Maximize it just means let it grow as big as it can, live as long as you can, but when do you need it based on all of the other things that you have? Now today you asked the question, what are we going to talk about from a negative standpoint? It's a serious standpoint too.
Yeah.
It's how do we run out of money? Why do people run out of money? First thing I would say is, and you're going to think it's crazy because a lot of you are sitting out there thinking, you're saying, you know, the stock market's what makes you run out of money. But a lot of people try to save and they try to play games with the stock market. And by that I mean this, when the market goes down, they want to pull all their money out.
Yeah.
When the
buy
market,
high, sell low, the exact opposite thing that you should be doing.
Exact opposite on anything. If you were going to buy a car and you say, whoa, I heard car prices were really low right now, let's go buy it. But if you were reading that car prices for whatever reason are sky high right now, you'd say, let's maybe get the old jalopy to run just a little bit longer. But the stock market doesn't operate that way. It operates off of two words: fear. When the market goes down, everybody fears you're going to lose everything, and greed. When the market's up, everybody wants to get in. Market's sky high. The S&P 500 is at an all-time high. Okay, it's time for us to buy in. No, you should have bought in when it was an all-time low, okay?
Exactly.
But playing games with it and not having a specific strategy about the stock market. Now, when you're young, and some of you are sitting there with your dad and your mom, and they're making you watch this show, because I know, because you set my conference room. When you're young, risk doesn't really matter, and timing doesn't really matter, so just put the money in the market. I tell my kids, close your eyes. When you get to 55, start looking at it, because you just need to let it grow. Put it in something really, really big. But when you're in retirement and you have a downturn in the market in retirement, it's not a good thing, okay? It's not a good thing whatsoever, because if the market takes a dive in retirement and you're taking money out to live off of, you're taking bigger units out. So playing games with the stock market, taking too little risk when you're young, too much risk when you're old, taking your money out when the market is down, putting your money in when the market is high, you're setting yourself up for failure. Now, I have a very good friend named Dave Bach. He's written 13 New York Times bestsellers, including The Automatic Millionaire. And if you're young, pick up a copy of The Latte Factor. You know how to spell latte if you're young. and all of those were New York Times #1 bestsellers. And he says it's not timing the market, it's time in the market that makes a difference. So one of the biggest mistakes people make is they try to play games with the market. Now, I'm not telling you, this is my crystal ball. Come to us. We have a crystal ball. We will tell you what the market will do. Nobody, and I admit, Warren Buffett, nobody knows what the market is going to do tomorrow. But we can and do use the stock market as part, you get the big word there, part of a retirement plan. You get the big word there? We do use the stock market as part of a plan to build you a retirement blueprint that is specifically for you. So if you say, well, I've always gotten my nose bloodied in the market. Well, anybody who's never been in the market has a clean nose, but if you've been in the market, there have been times where you've gotten your nose bloodied. You need to have the right strategy, and that's what we can help you do in building you a plan. Hey, if you'd like to talk to us about, hey, now that I'm about ready to retire, what should I do? How should I have my money in the market? We can do a riskalyze, and that'll tell us what your risk level is, and a risk analysis, which will tell us what your portfolio is taking. And sometimes people are taking all of the risk to the market, and their really risk tolerance is really 25% of the risk of the market, but yet they're getting only 10% of the gain. So you'd be surprised that you're taking all the risk and you're not getting the gain. You need to have an analysis done, and that's part of what we do in the retirement blueprint. So give us a call, 866-709-1462. We'll show you our broken crystal ball, but we'll also give you some great ideas as to how to use the market in part of your retirement plan.
And so much of this is about trust, building a relationship, and Mosley Wealth Management is unlike any firm I've ever heard of that does not charge you for your meetings. It truly is a relationship. To get your plan started, give us a call and stay with us. You can also use that QR code to go right to our landing page. We're talking more about the mistakes not to make in your retirement years. We'll be right back.
morning, Ben.
Good morning, Ben. Hey, birthday party for Carol and 5. Happy birthday to you.
Good morning, Ben. Happy Monday.
Daryl's birthday, be there every square. Happy birthday to you. As you can see from our quarterly report on slide number 62, we're trending in the right direction. All signs point to a very positive outlook for the next several years. If you peel back the onion...
Ben, do you have anything to add?
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Right on the Money with Tom Mosley. I'm Rebecca Powers. So happy to have you with us. We are all about education. Of course, I am just a consumer advocate, was a news anchor for 20 years. And Tom, you really are, we call you the professor because not only have you been a pastor, you've been, of course, a teacher, you're actually educating couples and individuals through your 28 years of doing this business. That is truly your passion.
You know, there's some advisors who have the mentality that, you know, stay the advisor, don't tell them how to understand it or don't explain it great. Get them to trust you and then they'll do whatever you want them to do. Well, I want you to trust me, don't get me wrong, because that's cardinal to any kind of relationship. But I want you to understand what you're doing as well when you put it together. And I think a lot of people, you know, we're talking on the show about how to run out of money and mistakes people make. And a lot of people, because they don't have a plan and they don't have the idea of how they're going to make sure that they have guaranteed increasing income for the rest of their life, but yet they realize that the stages of retirement or the go-go stage where you need to go and do the things you need to do that are on your bucket list, and the slow-go stage where you're not going quite as much and you're not doing quite as much, and then you'll get to the no-go stage. So one of the reasons people run out of money is they don't really have a plan. They don't know the scope of their lumberyard. They're still using just their 401ks or their statements, or they're still focusing on their lump sum.
Right.
And they're not really focusing on that plan that's going to give them the income they need all the way through. So the number one answer, the number one concern of people is running out of money. And then a lot of people have a lot of fear, not of the market that we talked about in the first segment, but they realize what I just said, and they have a fear of spending money in those go-go stages. So
and that's a mistake too.
It's a big mistake. It's a mistake to spend too much money during the go-go stage and spend all your money and then you run out at the end. And it's a mistake to not spend enough money. Now, the ones that I see though, Rebecca, and if you're out there and you say, well, that may be us, because there are actually people who come in for a plan from us, and we have to sit down and tell them, look, you would probably like this. We have to tell a lot of our people, you're not spending enough money. Because you built this money, you built this war chest, you built all of this money up for retirement. We've got a plan that you're never going to run out of income and the things you need for the rest of your life. So go spend your money. We divide, when we're building a plan, we divide your portfolio from just a statement that you might have on a 401k. We divide it into your paycheck to replace the income you're not going to have when you walk away from the company. And we then take what's left, and that's your paycheck. That's your go do, go have fun. And if you don't have that certainty that you're not going to run out of guaranteed increasing income for the rest of your life, what I've seen is a lot of people are in such fear. And I've even had people come in and they've said stuff like this. Once we've built a plan, they've decided to go with us, And one of their dreams that we always work through is to own a motor home or to own one of these, I think they call them a fifth wheel trailer and stuff like that, that cost a lot of money. And they'll come back to me and they say, well, my broker told me he wasn't sure I could buy that. He wasn't sure I could do that. He wasn't sure we could go on that trip. Well, think about it. If you address your paycheck so that you've got guaranteed increasing income for the rest of your life, then the rest of the money is your play check for you to really go and enjoy your money. I'm one of those people who believes that if you made the money and you even if you didn't make the money, if you have the money and you're retiring and your paycheck is taken care of, use your play check to go have fun. Because I've done this 28 years. You're always nice to talk about that. And I've learned a lot of things. And it's not just been out of a book or out of a continuing education course. It's been from sitting across with clients who've made mistakes and not just run out of money, but maybe they died with too much money and they didn't spend it and they didn't enjoy their retirement. And the reason, Rebecca, they get to that position is they just don't have a plan that really addresses retirement. And most of you have never retired before. You didn't retire for a couple of years when you were in your 20s or your 30s. You're retiring for the first time. And that's why we build a plan so that you can fulfill the dreams you have. Get the bucket list done, the go-go years, because the slow go will come and the no-go will come where you're not going anywhere. And if you're sitting around and you've got all the money in the world and you've not used it, you've not done something with it because you didn't really have a plan, you weren't certain, there was a fear, and all of those things that were there because you just didn't really know where you could afford to do it now or not, and you're sitting there when you're 85 years old and maybe you've got something that won't allow you to get on a plane or to go anywhere, or you just don't feel like it, then I think that's a sad retirement in that, yes, you've got all the money in the world, but you haven't been able to enjoy it. You haven't done what you saved that money for. And that's what a financial retirement blueprint will do for you. It'll give you that ability to be content, the sigh that I teach for, that I build plans for people so that people can say, I can do that. I can go enjoy that. And we always tell our clients, send us pictures from Italy. Send us pictures from Australia. Yeah, because we love to do that. And our plan is to take one of the sections of walls in our office and just start making those, they send them to us on Facebook or something like that.
Yeah, print them out and hang them up there.
Put them up there and put all over the world where our people are going because you've worked really hard. Don't make the big mistake of just playing the market all over and down. We talked about that in the first section. But don't make the mistake of not having a plan so you don't know what you can spend and what you can go do and what you can enjoy. That's one of the biggest mistakes. Oh, you'll end up probably with more money, but you'll end up. And you'll end up without all the memories and without all the joys and all the fun. Hey, give us a call and we can start with you. You may not have enough money to go do all of those things. You may have far enough money. You may be able to do far more than you think you can do. But until we sit down and look at your portfolio and look at your situation and put together a plan for you, we don't know. Our number, 866-709-1462.
And one of my favorite stories, it's happened several times. You may come in and you may be right on track. And he has actually had people call their employer in his office and say, okay, I'm retiring now, I can quit. And he thought he was years away. So this could be the true life-changing call that you make, 866-709-1462. More with Tom Mosley and getting your money right for retirement. Stay with us.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision. So why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
All right, welcome back to Right on the Money with Tom Mosley of Mosley Wealth Management, with 4 offices right here in beautiful Southern California. Of course, as I've said many times, Tom, we call him the professor here at the studio, but he is truly one of those who wants to educate you, and it all starts with a plan. I feel like we are a broken record saying it over and over and over and over. But as you know, I never had a plan until I went and did this and went through and did the risk-a-lies, saw my true risks, saw the true fees. How important and imperative is it to have a comprehensive plan, not just what to do, what not to do, but tax planning, Social Security? Let's talk about what a comprehensive plan means.
Well, a comprehensive plan, it's like when I went to Dallas Seminary, okay? Man, when I walked into Dallas Seminary, I knew the Bible sideways, forward. I knew what every verse meant. I knew the right way to interpret it, the wrong way to interpret it. And then I studied the Bible, okay? And then I realized this great person of the faith over here has this view, and this great person of the faith has this view over here.
Yeah.
You know, retirement planning is the same way. Oh, it's pretty simple, isn't it? A lot of people start and they say, it's just a 401k, isn't it?
Nope.
Nope. I mean, that's a nice account, you know, but it's not a retirement plan. So how do I make sure that I don't make a mistake and run out of money? And what would be in a comprehensive retirement account? Well, in a retirement blueprint. Now, let me just walk you through it, okay? And one of the reasons you and I think that we go over the same things all the time, because it really does come back into a plan.
Right.
And if we broke it down, there would be 6 components of that plan. There would be income, inflation, investments, taxes, healthcare, and legacy. Now, but let's go deeper. And what we do on this show, if you think we say the same thing over and over again, it's because that's the plan. Those are the 6 things. But let me show you how that goes deeper. Income. Income would include probably your Social Security. If you're still working, income includes what you're making right now. And are you saving into a 401k out of your income right now? How much are you putting into that 401k? Are you using the regular side of the 401k that saves you taxes now, or are you using the Roth side of the 401k that you pay the taxes now but never pay the taxes again? We're still on income, okay? Then when I stop work, how much income am I going to need? That's your budget, okay? So that's income. Whoops, wait a minute, let's talk about Social Security. 43% of the average American's income. So let's go into Social Security. When should I take it? I'm married. When should my spouse take it? Should I take mine first, or should he take his first? Who's got the larger Social Security? When one of us passes away, what Social Security is left? Oh my goodness, there's a lot to Social Security. Go on our website. Come to one of our Social Security events. Okay, I'm just starting with income.
Yeah.
It goes even deeper. Do I have a pension? That's income, that's guaranteed income for the rest of my life, and if I take it on my spouse, guaranteed income on the rest of my spouse's life. Or do I need to maybe have a private pension, a private annuity that goes in there? That's just income. Inflation, not just what's the rate of inflation, that's the second one, okay?
Yeah.
Not just the rate of inflation, but what's your rate of inflation? Look at what cruises and airline flights and those things that you're going to want to do during the go-go years of retirement. Look at what inflation, I mean, sometimes some of those areas are up 30, 35, and 40%, not 5% or 8%. So inflation is important. And my investments, look how many ways you can look at your investments. Is it still in a taxable account that I've still got to pay tax on it? Or has it already been taxed and I just get taxed on the growth? Whoa, what's my capital gains? Now we've moved into taxes. And how much of my retirement money has got to be taxed? So yeah, we say the same thing. And people sometimes, it just must be real easy because you're always talking about a plan. But I haven't begun to go into the depth of income, inflation, and investments, and I just touched on taxes, and I haven't touched on health care. Do you need long-term care? What kind of Medicare do you need? Do you need Medicare Advantage? Do you need Medicare Supplement? Oh my goodness, I retired, I'm 65, but my husband is 62. How are we going to cover his Social Security until he gets to 65? So it's a really complex plan. How do you run out of money? You think it's easy. How do you run out of money? You don't have a plan. How do you run out of money? You go through retirement for the first time and you wing it on your own. I've also said on this, I am a fantastic auto mechanic. I really am. I mean, my fingernails aren't dirty and there's nothing underneath them. But when I get into my little Toyota Tacoma pickup, which is my vehicle of choice, and I push the button and it turns on and it takes me wherever I want to go, let me repeat, I am a fantastic auto mechanic. But guess what, Rebecca? If I push that button and nothing happens, I am totally at a loss as an auto mechanic.
You're taking an Uber.
I need a professional. I
Right.
really do. I need somebody. Now, that doesn't mean I can't undo a bolt or maybe take something off. I used to have
Sure.
an auto mechanic friend who would help me, and he would let me help him. He'd make me help him. And he'd give me these old dirty things, and he'd say, go clean these off. So I learned a little bit. But I can't make the car go. All right? I need a professional. So please, how do you run out of money? You try to wing it on your own. You think it's easy. You think everybody can do this. And you get to that point and you have no fun, you have no joy in retirement because you're always afraid of running out of money. Number one fear of people 58 years of age and older. We can take most of that fear out by building you a plan, but you've got to call us, 866-709-1462.
And I've said it before, as an independent, the Mosley Group can use any product on the planet. There is no reason to risk your money. Extremely important to understand. You do not have to lose sleep at night or get a tummy ache when you watch the news. There is a way to secure your money. Call us soon, and we hope to see you again next time. Thanks so much for joining us.